Hey everyone, and welcome back. It's Friday. We're on our way into a great weekend here, and I'm hoping that you're all enjoying every bit of this weekend. It's going to be a beautiful weekend here in East Tennessee, and I'm hoping that the weather permitting, you will all have an outdoor weekend as well. Whether you like the lake and boating and fishing, or walks on the beach, or just a simple walk through the woods and a relaxing sound of the breeze coming through the leaves, to relax your mind and your soul as this continues to be a very stressful time for some due to the media's insistence on pointing out all of what's bad and none of what is good. But there's an awful lot of good to be had in this world today if we stop and take our time and think about it. Well, there's a lot of nonsense going on right now in the news, some of it not even worth talking about, but I guess the big exercise today is to tell you all that there's a rift between the president and Elon Musk, which is not true. He's leaving because he signed an agreement to be there as the law requires for 130 days, and his time is up, and he has selectively worked hard to bring Doge to reality, to where for the first time in this government, and especially in our hallowed halls of our Congress, somebody is going to have to be accountable for where all of the money has been spent and on what programs they're going to. For the first time in a long time, there'll be accountability and also a path to a balanced budget that this country sorely needs to have. We haven't had a balanced budget since Bill Clinton was president. He did a very good job at getting it there. He had a cabinet of people that were cognizant of what was needed to make that happen, and they did. So along with that, we have now another cabinet that has the ability to make this happen, and we're hoping and praying that that happens sooner rather than later. But we do have a resistant Senate that is going to fool with this bill one more time, send it back to the House with a whole bunch more nonsense attached to it, and then it'll be a back and forth, and will we ever get it to fruition? Well, by July 4th is what they're hoping for. I believe it should happen way sooner than July 4th. I should think that it should take place in the month of June, and that, my friends, are a needed thing for the middle class, for the small businessman, and there is no tax cuts for the rich, and all of the crap that you hear out of the mouths of Schumer, Pelosi, and the like. I don't want to start naming names because it'll take me all morning to get through the sludge that's in our Congress, both in the House of Representatives and in the seats in the Senate, that are roadblocks to success because they're on a gravy train that they do not want to cease to exist. And these budget cuts that are sorely needed will affect some of that, and it will also affect some of the lobbyists that have their hands out on a daily basis to these idiots, and also foreign aid that has been poured into countries with little or no accountability for, and no one asked any questions until Doge. So that was tantamount to half of this Congress trying to malign and destroy the name of Elon Musk. And all he did was what he was asked to do by the president, and he has done a wonderful job at it. And now he has to go pay attention to the businesses that our mainstream media and half our Congress tried to destroy. Well, it didn't work because you're dealing now with a person of a very, very high IQ and an inventor that has brought more to society than all of anyone that has ever sat in our congressional seats has ever done. And once we all realize that and get off the Elon Musk train of destruction, then we'll all be better off for it, because coming are not only robots and self-driving cars and automatic taxi cabs and things of that nature, but there are things in the work now in the neuroscience side of things that are going to allow a paraplegic to walk, the deaf to hear, and so on and so on. So why would you try to destroy a man that is so far above you that your intelligence will never be able to grasp and understand what this man is capable of? Just because he made money doing it does not make him a bad man. So let's stop that, because you all have the same opportunities in this country that everyone has to go out and invent something, to go out and work at something that will be beneficial to all mankind, and go out and be happy with your accomplishments, rather than sit with a telephone in your hand, texting stupid things on stupid platforms, or making TikTok films of you dancing around, which make no sense to anyone. So that brings us into the law and order section of this country right now, when we have, as I said yesterday, we have a new director and assistant director of the FBI that I was very happy to see get nominated and get in there. But I'm a little less than satisfied with some of the end result of some of the things that they've had a little time to look into. And I understand it's an astronomical amount that they do have to sift through to come, or at least bring a truth to the surface for us to look at. But I think someone should have been at least arrested or brought to trial on some of these blatantly visible transgressions that took place under the Biden administration. And now we're finding out that you had a handful of unelected bureaucrats that were sitting in the White House along with Hunter Biden and Joe Biden making the decisions and using the auto pen. Why are we not getting these? They invited these people to come in and talk to a committee in Congress, and the deadline was 5 yesterday. They heard from no one, and now they're talking about, again, it's more talk about issuing subpoenas to get these people in. Meantime, you have mayors around large cities in the United States, cities that, by the way, were an attractive city to set out your sights to go to, see the sights, and enjoy the things that the city of Chicago had to offer. And right now, it is listed as one of the most dangerous cities in the United States to be walking around in. It's almost incredible that he can come out and say, oh, everything is fine now and safe, when the news media just posted, as soon as a couple of days ago, large numbers over the Memorial Day weekend that were killed or shot, and the amount of shootings and the amount of immigrant crime in that city is on the rise one more time, and the mayor refuses to do anything about it. So let's just take a small look right here at what's going on in the city, the windy city of Chicago.
Yesterday.
So there's going to be a continued concerted effort on my part to ensure that the key investments that we are making continue to push forth our effort to build the safest, most affordable big city in America. Our investments are clearly having some strong returns as violence continues to go down in the city of Chicago.
That's not entirely accurate.
Which part?
Our investments are clearly having some strong returns as violence continues to go down in the city of Chicago.
Well, Chicago is named America's murder capital for the 13th consecutive year.
Key investments that we are making continue to push forth our effort to build the safest, most affordable big city in America.
That's not enough.
Unbelievable that they can say that it's safe to go back to Chicago right now when we see what's going on. My daughter and her husband, I was just visiting there and got to go to a Cubs game just the other day, and they had a great time, and I'm glad for that. And they didn't see anything that was out of line. However, they stayed in safe places and had friends looking out for them. So if you want to go to a Cubs game or a White Sox game and you want to get into the city, to get down to Gibson's Chop House and have a Gibson martini and a real good piece of meat, go. Just be very careful and keep your wits about you as you navigate the city, and don't make any silly mistakes. You'll be fine. But the crime rate in Chicago is a little disheartening, and I'm hoping that the mayor will come to his senses and listen to his constituents that are at town halls all of the time telling them, why did you put all of these illegals in our side of the city, and why are you not prosecuting the crime that's taking place there? So that brings us over to the MSNBC people. We know every day we can have a funny meme or something to do with some character that is a newscaster or a contributor to the MSNBC news programs, and it's kind of ridiculous. Well, they made some major changes in personnel there and also in their programming. So they put together some new programming that they thought was going to be a big change for that particular network to rise in ratings and give you a little bit more of the truth and a little bit more of an outlook on the actual happenings around the country and around the world. Well, it turned out the inaugural show was cringeworthy at best, and I'm going to show you that here in a minute. But the ratings are falling under all of this new programming, and it's almost amazing on how many mistakes a network can make. And this is MSNBC, but if you take a mirror look over at CNN, the same crap is going on there. Their ratings are going to fall into a point where management is going to have to make the necessary changes to bring a network back to the work that they were designed to do, which was give you the news without major opinions and without lying. The lies that come out of MSNBC and CNN, and for that matter, the other legacy networks and newspapers, are as well guilty as these people are. But the people are turning the TV sets off, and I applaud that. If you can stay away from Morning Jackass and the people of that nature that are out there spreading falsehoods and giving you misinformation to keep you upset, in anxiety, and fearful of everything you wake up to, That's not the case in reality. This is the case in Fantasyland over there in Stupid Town, which we show you every day. And we'll have a visit to Stupid Town today at the end of this program, where Star Trek will take a visit there. And it'll explain a lot of what is going on in the news today with regard to what happened with Joe Biden and Jill Biden and the like. So hang on for that, because it's going to be funny. But right now, let's take a look at MSNBC.
You know them from the weekend.
It's about knowing what you are for, who you are for.
Now you can watch them 5 nights a week.
That's what politics is about. It's engagement.
Join Alicia Menendez, Simone Sanders Townsend, and Michael Steele for a spirited conversation. The weeknight, Monday through Friday at 7. Premieres Monday on MSNBC.
And you ain't black.
We finished
It's a
the
wrap.
first episode.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I need a drink. I need a drink. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. And we gonna eat. We gonna drink. We gonna party. We gonna eat. We gonna drink. And we gonna be back tomorrow.
Meanwhile, in the back, they're like working.
They're fake news. They are the biggest fakers in the world.
Holy moly. We gonna party. We gonna eat. We gonna drink. And we gonna be back tomorrow.
You sure about that?
Now, the other side of the news that's going on around some of the smaller networks, and a lot of it on platforms such as X and formerly Twitter and the like, is the fact that the country of Qatar gave us a jet, a brand new, very, very expensive 747, the newest model, that has all the bells, whistles, and everything that was needed for the basis of an Air Force One. Now, that has to be reconfigured and reset by our government to become Air Force One, because there is a lot of secretive things that are on board the current Air Force One and have been on Air Force Ones for years, that are protective measures, countermeasures, and early warning devices, and also I can't tell you any more than that, but there's a lot that are the capabilities of that airplane are magnificent. And not only that, you need to realize, folks, that when you have Air Force One, there has to be a duplicate plane that will resemble Air Force One as a countermeasure as well. So that's a very expensive proposition, and if a government wants to make a gift of that to our government, we should open our arms and readily say thank you. But the mainstream media is not going to let it rest there. They want to tell you that Trump wants this for his own use. He's going to steal the plane and keep it. This is a crock of bull S. Hands down, it's crazy. So to explain that to you, we've gone to Baby Trump and asked him to explain quickly what this is all about. So let's have a look at Baby Trump and his explanation for the Qatar gift that is coming to us.
These planes, the plane that you're on right now is almost 40 years old. And when you land and you see Saudi Arabia and you see UAE and you see Qatar and you see all these, and they have these brand new Boeing 747s mostly, and you see ours next to it, this is like a totally different plane. It's much smaller, it's much less impressive as it is. And, you know, we're the United States of America. I believe that we should have the most impressive plane. So anyway, so they said to me, we would like to, in effect, we would like to make a gift. You've done so many things, and we'd like to make a gift to the Defense Department, which is where it's going. And I said, well, that's nice. Now, some people say, oh, you shouldn't accept gifts for the country. My attitude is, why wouldn't I accept a gift? We're giving to everybody else. Why wouldn't I accept a gift? Because it's going to be a couple of years, I think, before the Boeings are finished. And they'll be wonderful when they're finished.
You gotta love baby Trump. He tells it like it is, and much like his older counterpart, the truth comes out, whether you like it or not, and whether you like the verbiage used by either baby Trump or the big baby Trump or the big Trump. It's too bad, because at least we know what he's thinking, and you will always know what a New Yorker like myself or Donald Trump or any of my New York friends, you never have to worry about what their thought processes are, because we will tell you exactly what's on our mind. And if you're offended, then you need to go take a nap, because it's not going to get any better, and it's not going to stop, no matter how much DEI crap that you try to push into mainstream and what you want to call yourself or anything else. We don't buy it, we don't use it, we don't need to have crazy sold to us any longer, because we're all full up. So take it as it is, and take whatever gifts a government wants to give your country to make your country safer and better. Never turn a gift horse in the mouth. Don't turn it down. Take it, make good use of it, and of course no single individual, I don't care where they sit in the government chain of things, should ever benefit from it. And it won't. It's not designed that way, and it will not be designed that way. So, the AutoPen President Biden, Jill, Dr. Biden, as she likes to be called, is in the hot seat and is going to have to show up at some point to some of these hearings to answer some questions. Number one, I think, question that should be answered by any of these committees that are going to be doing the questioning should be, please explain to us what your doctorate is in, because it certainly is not medicine, and we all know that. And she acts like that she was his primary caregiver, so I'd like to have answers on that, because we all had seen, we all knew what was going on, and we all lived through 4 years of watching our country being pulled apart and destroyed by foreigners who literally invaded our southern and northern borders to get in here and get hold of program benefits that nearly bankrupt our country. I don't understand how that was let to happen, other than the fact that there was a cabal in the White House of non-elected individuals, and in some cases family members, and I would like to know, finally, the truth about what happened in the last 4 years, because according to me, that's a criminal act and subversive act against our government that someone needs to be held accountable for. And if we get it, finally get our elected or appointed people that are in the law and order division here and the AG to do their job and get these people hauled up on charges, then we'll understand what went on and who was behind it, and let the chips fall where they may. But we need the answers, lest this happens again. We, the voters, need to make correct decisions come the next election and the midterm elections. So let us have the information we need to be informed voters and not have a pack load of uninformed voters going out to make this happen all over again. I want answers, and you should demand answers as well. I'm not happy with the progress that's being made by the AG and the appointees of the FBI and the CIA right now, as far as coming clean with some of the information that now, is filtering down, but in dribs and drabs, to where we can't put that puzzle piece together. And it should be a lot easier for us to understand if we're told directly what in the world happened. Because something is wrong. Something smelled for 4 years and no one questioned a thing. And this Comey character that's out there with promoting his new book with the shells in the sand about 86 and 47, it has got to stop. He needs to be brought in and made pay for all of the corruption and dirty deeds that he did dirt cheap. So with that, we're going to take a walk into Stupid Town, where Star Trek is visiting today. But before that, we'll run this about what's going on with the auto pen right now.
There are some folks in President Biden's inner circle who are now in talks with Republicans in Congress to give interviews about how they may have handled President Biden's decline. Is the president satisfied with aides only sitting for these transcribed interviews, or would he also like to see some kind of testimony from the former First Lady, Dr. Biden?
Are you a real doctor or a doctor like Dr. Pepper's a doctor?
I think, frankly, the former First Lady should certainly speak up about what she saw in regards to her husband and when she saw it and what she knew.
Hell yes!
Anybody looking, again, at the videos and photo evidence of Joe Biden with your own eyes and a little bit of common sense can see this was a clear cover-up. And Jill Biden was certainly complicit in that cover-up. There's documentation, video evidence of her clearly shielding her husband away from the cameras.
That's the understatement of the year.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
I want to say Nancy and her. There you are, Nan. Very well.
Come on.
I'm going to stand out here, though.
Thanks. God bless America.
Okay.
It's pathetic.
They were just on The View last week. She was saying everything is fine.
If you look at things today, give me Joe Biden anytime.
She's still lying to the American people. She still thinks the American public are so stupid that they're going to believe her lies. And frankly, it's insulting, and she needs to answer for it.
And if someone has a heart attack, you should still call 911.
So that ought to explain to you that there's some shenanigans that needs to be answered, and it needs to be answered correctly and justifiably, truthfully by someone. We know all these pardons were given out to these people already. Who gave those pardons? Are those pardons valid? If they were done by autopen by a White House employee, I don't believe that's going to hold up in Jeanine Pirro's court, and she should be the judge in charge of this because she has recognized what was going on for years on the Fox network. Tried to tell us, everyone tried to tell us that was speaking the truth, but it was all covered up by mainstream media, MSNBC, CNN, and the like. We know it now. So with that, we're going to go into Stupid Town here. And it's a visit by Star Trek. So watch this.
Captain, a most curious development on scanner 5-7.
Let's all take a look at it, Mr. Spock.
Screen on, Captain.
Hardly wait to compare my cognitive capability to the cognitive capability of the man I'm running against. It's just, but you gotta, I mean, we gotta reassure, look, play the radio, make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone, make sure the kids hear words. COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives, when you think about it. That's why I made it a priority my entire career to work closely with you. From the time I got to the Senate 180 years ago. We cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. We can only reelect Donald Trump. Mr. President, wake up. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you like what you see, help out. If not, vote for the other guy. Give me a look, though, okay? All men and women created by you know the thing. I just can't figure the guy. It's like watching a yo-yo. I shouldn't have said it that way. It's like watching.
It feels that way. I want to ask.
All right, Chuck. Thank you very much.
All right. It's Chris, but anyway.
Chris. I just did Chris. No, I just did Chuck. Why doesn't he just act like a president? That's a stupid way to say it.
You know, Donald Trump was asked
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, probably best I don't. I want to be clear. I'm not going nuts.
I will destroy it. Fire phases.
Why?
You're getting...
Check off. Take us out of orbit. Warp factor 2 and hurry.
I hope that brought some laughter to your life today. And we all want you to be not afraid, not worried, not stressing about anything. We have good hands at the controls right now, and we need to just pressure your congressperson and your senators to do the right thing and stop fighting against fixing what's wrong in this country. And with that, for the weekend, if you haven't picked up your meats yet, don't forget to visit Lazy J Farms and Butcher Shop. I was down there yesterday. He's got a lot of meat ready to cut and ready to go. Give him a call today. Tell him Kaiser sent you. And I'll run their commercial at the end of this program one more time so you have all the information you need. So with that, we'd like to say stay safe, stay strong, and stay tuned to the Kaiser Report for more information and a few laughs along the way of making this country great again. Bye-bye now.
Lazy J Farms has been raising the finest cattle and all-natural pork for 3 generations on the family farm in Fall Branch. Their blonde Aquitaine herd offers a leaner, healthier, and more tasteful beef. And the butcher shop is local, farm to table, and 100% authentic. This is the way your grandfather shot for me, with steaks cut to order, quality assured, and ready to ship to your door. Open Thursday through Saturday on Bloomingdale Road in Kingsport. Come see us.